Good day, everyone. I'm going to review quiz number 5 here, which was on the internet, the 20 questions. And once again, if you have any challenge to this, what you would do is you would copy and paste or take a screenshot of the question, and you would put down what your answer was and why you believe your answer is correct. Remember, you must cite a source, and a source is not a search engine. A source would be the actual site that you would go to. That would be not a blog, but a reputable site, and again, not Wikipedia, but some sort of a technology site that can support your answer. I can tell you that if that is the case, after you send that in, I would research any issues with the particular question involved, and if that's the case, then you may receive partial credit, especially if the question may be ambiguous, right? So let's go. Question number 1. The blank is responsible for the Internet's Internet Domain Name System and the allocation of IP addresses, and that is the ICANN organization. So basically, they oversee the domain systems. And again, the Internet is only good or a good source of information and a good source or a tool for communication if you have consistency across it. So that is why you use one language when you're using the internet, so to ensure that the different devices can talk to each other. The main path of the internet along which data travels the fastest is known as the internet blank, and the answer there is backbone. Right, so the backbone of the internet, that is like where the bulk of the internet resides, right? So the speed and everything originates there. I believe at one point the closest the backbone for the United States existed in Atlanta. That's where like all the internet, basically the cables and the speed originate from. I don't know if that's still the case. Question number 3: high-speed blank communication lines on the internet backbone use fiber optics, and that is the answer is OC, which is optical carrier, right? And that ties into question number 4, which says the individual internet users connect to ISPs through one, right? And that one there is the answer is the P, the POP, POP, right? And number 5, it says here that the blank is an address, is unique number that identifies a computer, a server, or a device connected into the internet. And the answer is Internet Protocol, which is IP. Every computer has a unique IP device address. Question number 6: an IP address that does not change and is usually assigned manually by a network administrator or an ISP, Internet Service Provider, is called a blank address, and that is a static address. So like your computer, when you log on to a network, it typically would get a dynamic IP address, which would change typically every 30 days. It's leased for a period of time. Whereas something like your internet modem, you're given a static address to connect to the internet from like BTL, for example. When checking to see whether a particular name is registered on the internet, your computer accesses a database that is kept in a blank server, which is a DNS server, domain name system. So basically that basically provides, it correlates the name of a device with an IP address, right? The internet was developed to ensure faster delivery of communication such as email, and that is incorrect, right? The internet was originally connected to create an alternative method of communication in case there was problems such as a nuclear war, right? Where you were going to knock out telecommunications, you would have an alternative way to communicate other than through the phone system. Um, Let's see, question number 9. The United States government is the sole country in charge of the internet, and that is false. There are international organizations that oversee the internet. It was started in the United States, and that's why the traditional language is English, right? Just like you have, I believe, the aviation industry is the same way. No matter what country you're from, you have to have some consistency because planes fly from country to country. So that's why air traffic controllers must be able to speak English as well. That's one of the standard languages that are common, right? Question number 10: emails are completely private, and that the answer is false. Basically, nothing on the internet is private. Once it gets sent out, it's like a letter. If you were to send a letter to someone at any point across the way, someone could actually open that letter and read that letter and then put it back in an envelope and send it. So there's no such thing as completely private, right? Question number 11, FTP is used to transmit email messages across the internet, and the answer no is SMTP. So the answer is false. With a client-based email account, you are able to view your client only from the computer in which the client is installed, and that answer is true. The internet is a WAN, which is a wide area network, which is exactly true. Basically, it is an interconnection of computers. So anywhere in the world, any two devices or more can connect together. That is the ultimate definition of a WAN. In the URL http www.microsoft.com/surface, the portion labeled .com is the top level domain. And the key there is .com, right? Because once you say the .com, which is basically abbreviation for commercial, you're talking about domains, right? OneDrive is Microsoft's blank storage product, and that is cloud. So it allows you to store things in a cloud so that they're protected and saved in case your device crashes. Question 16, which is not a social networking site, and the answer would be iTunes, obviously. That's just for playing music and downloading music. It's not really meant for any type of social networking. In the URL, http www.pearsonhighered.com, which is the top level domain, and the top level domain is the com part. And that's basically the same question as before, but just asked in a different way. Unwanted junk email is called what? And the answer would be spam. All right, so things go in your spam folder, and sometimes if you have a user who you don't know who it is, it would by default go into your spam until you allowed it to be accepted into your regular inbox or have that person in your contact book. But you need to look at your options and your settings and how your email is set up. Clicking a blank will take you to another location in a worksheet, another file location, a web page on the internet, or your organization's internet. The answer is B, hyperlink. And that's something that you're creating in your assignment here as well, which ties into this question perfectly. Hyperlinks can be attached to which of the following? And the answer would be text and graphics. So you'll be attaching hyperlinks to your pictures that you're adding to your file. And those are the 20 quiz questions. So again, if you're going to challenge it, you can take the screenshot of the question with your answer that you put and why you believe your answer is correct with your citation of the supporting material which backs up your challenge. Okay, thank you very much, and I'll see you in classes this week.